Hello, Whittle Springs Middle School students and families. My name is Mandy Hipsher, and I am the Whittle Springs Middle School TPAC coach. So, my job is based around technology and instruction. So, for our virtual learners, when you need assistance, I'm the person that you would come to first. And I'll be here at the building and available to parents and students whenever you need some tech support. All right. Today, we want to talk about Google Chrome, Canvas, and Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to show you the process to get to these things because as virtual learners, this is where your learning will occur. So we're going to start off assuming we've already logged into our Chromebooks with our student ID and password. And we're going to start with clicking on Google Chrome. Okay. Click on Google Chrome. It's going to pop up a new tab. Okay. Here we're going to have what we call bookmarks. Okay. You should have a bar that says knoxschools.org bookmarks and then any personalized bookmarks that you have assigned. If you've never been here before on Google Chrome, you won't have many here or any at all. I have a lot. Okay, but everyone will have the knoxschools.org bookmarks. If for some reason this is not showing up, because sometimes it's locked, we will go over to the right-hand side, these three buttons that say Customize and Control Google Chrome. We will click here and go to where it says bookmarks. I want to make sure where it says show bookmarks bar that there is a check beside it. Ooh, yep. And the check means it should be showing up now. So you should have this there. When we click on the bookmarks button, will pop up some common knoxschools.org bookmarks. The one that we really want to focus on right now is Canvas. Canvas is where your teachers create pages and courses and upload a lot of the materials that you are going to need for class. And this is whether you are a virtual learner or an in-person learner. So I'm going to go to Canvas. Okay. Once you click on that button, it's going to prompt you to log in. Okay, so we want to go to student and teachers. Okay, parents can have an observer account, but that's different than the student account. We're going to talk about a student account today. Okay. And then it's automatically going to kind of know who you are because you're already logged into your Chromebook. Okay. If for some reason it doesn't have it, it is your SID number at student.knoxschools.org. Okay. If you don't have that student there, then it won't work. Okay. But hopefully it's going to go ahead and prompt you because it knows who you are. I'm going to click my account. Here you'll enter your password. Mine's already saved, so I don't have to type it again. And sign in. And then it's probably going to ask you if you want to stay signed in. Since this is your assigned device, that's okay to do. I don't recommend that we do it on devices that you share with other people, but since this is mine, it's okay. Yes. Now, from there, you will have what we call courses on your dashboard. So the courses will be for your classes. So you'll have one for ELA, it's sometimes called language arts, science, social studies, math, and possibly any other related arts class that you might have. Okay, so you'll have several of these here. If for some reason they are not showing up here, you can click on courses. You can click on all courses, and it'll have a list of all your courses with these stars beside it. So if there's a star beside it, that means it shows up in my dashboard. So I've starred the ones that I need to have. So you'll look right there. At the bottom, it would have any old classes that you had that are now archived and you don't need anymore if you're an older student and have had courses in the past. Okay. So I just put stars beside the ones that I need. Okay. So back to dashboard. Okay. So you'll have these. So I'm going to click on a practice course that I made or a demo course that I made to show you what your courses will look like in Canvas here at school. Okay, and I'm going to go to our student view because I want to make sure that you see what you're going to be seeing. Okay. So here you should have a welcome page. I did this one as mine. Here I am reading my book and drinking my coffee. Okay, so you'll have a welcome for whatever class it is. So like I said, each class will have one. Below that welcome sign or page, you're going to have what we call buttons. Okay. You should have probably four blue buttons at the bottom for right now. There might be more at another point, but right now let's focus on these. And these buttons have what we call links, live links to take you places. So If I click on this Whittle Springs website, it's going to open a new tab and take me directly to the Whittle Springs website. So this is a great place to get information about what's happening in school. Right now we have all the information for deployment and orientation. Okay. If I click on the button that says Aspen, that will take me to Aspen, also known as Family Portal. They are the same thing. I open that, it's going to take me there and it'll prompt you to log in. The login for this is S and your ID number and your password. Okay. This will take you to what we call Microsoft Teams. And Microsoft Teams is going to be where you meet with your classes, your teacher, and the other students that are assigned to your virtual class. Okay. Once I click there, it'll take me here and it'll prompt me to sign in. If I click that sign in button, it should, I don't want it to automatically sign me in. I think that's what it's going to do. It'll prompt you to log in here and it might ask you to log in with your Google, and that's okay. You can sign in with Google because that's what this is, the Google Chrome device. So we would sign in. Okay. The other button will be for your online textbook for that subject. So if you have a related arts class, there might not be a textbook here unless it's an intervention class. It could be possibly something else in its place. But for your core subject areas, it will be your online textbook. So I chose ELA. I used to be an ELA teacher. Okay. And here it'll prompt you to log in. Now, this login for your textbooks, I do believe each textbook will be different. So that information is going to come from your teacher for that specific class or course. Okay. But we wanted to make it easy for you to get there. Okay. So those buttons are going to be very important. Okay. Now, to the side, we have some other very important areas. Okay. Announcements. So announcements will be, oh, look, welcome to our practice Canvas course. I posted one up there already. Okay. So your teacher could post announcements here. They might post a link for that day that you need, like a meeting link for Microsoft Teams if you needed one there. They can post other announcements. So it's very important that we keep this checked frequently in case there's an announcement for your class that you need to see. Okay. It's going to be really important as virtual learners that we're staying up to date on what's happening in our classes because it's going to be hard to get information elsewhere. So this is going to be important. The other thing that's really important for this is what we call modules. This is where all of your coursework will live. Okay, modules. So each week you will have assignments. I put in some old assignments from ELA just to show you, but you'll have assignments for that course for that week. So we will be chunking them a week at a time so we don't get overwhelmed. And so you know for what week what you should be working on. Your teachers will include here any information that you need, such as links to assignments that you actually have to submit. So let's take a look here. This would take me to an assignment I actually have to submit. So here it would say submit your completed questions for chapter 1 through 5. Okay. And if I click submit assignment, it's going to prompt me to submit something here. So if it was a Google assignment, I would click Google Drive. Okay. It's not available because I'm just in a student view, but normally it would pull up your Google Drive. If you haven't signed into the Google Drive, it will prompt you to sign in. It'll ask you to allow it, and it's going to ask you to click a couple of times to allow that, and that's okay. We want to do that because we want our Google Drive to talk to our Canvas. So you can things. And then there's also a file upload. So if there's a specific file that you have on your computer that's not a Google Doc, you will submit it using this. If it is a Google Doc, if it is a Google Slides, a Google Drawing, anything from Google, we want to use Google Drive, not file upload. Okay? And we'll talk more about submitting assignments at another time. So, and this would be an example of a link. So this actually included a link to copy for my students with instructions. You could also have Google Slides or PowerPoint that you would need to look at for class. There could be a quiz that you would take. Okay, it'll prompt you to take the quiz. Okay. Some quizzes might have multiple attempts allowed on them. Some might include written questions. I think this one's mostly, oh, yep, there's a typed one there. Okay. And you would submit it at the bottom. I'm not going to submit it. Okay. That's just an example of something that might be on your Canvas page. And so all of these would be for there. So each week then, um, after you're done with that, I want to show you something that's really helpful for me as a teacher, and I think it would be helpful as a student. It's called collapsing your module. So after I'm done with that week, what I would just do is say, okay, I did all the work for this week, it's done. And you don't want it to have to keep scrolling through. So over here where the little arrow is, I'm going to click on it and it collapses it and makes it smaller. So I know I'm done with that week. And then the next week will pop up. This would, the next week too, when you go onto there, is actually going to be at the top. And so you'll be able to keep up to date. Whatever week you're working on will be at the top at that time. That way you can know exactly where you're at. Okay? And then the other navigational tool over here is your Google Drive. So this is an easy way to get to your Google Drive. Now, you can't use it because it's in student view, but it would pull up a little sample of all the files in my Google Drive. Okay, I'm going to go back to home. So this should be, like I said, what most of your pages will look like. So they're all going to be very similar. So it should be easy to navigate through all of them. Like I said, Microsoft Teams is going to be the important one because that's where your classes will meet. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and sign in and just see what it looks like for you guys here. So when it pulls up, it's going to have all of my different teams. Teams are going to be for you like classes. So you will have one for all of your different classes that you have. I have one for all the different groups that I'm in. Okay, those are teams. Okay, and then there will be a chat. There are assignments that can be put in here. If I go to one of my teams, I can look at different files. There will be videos there. You can join a team. You can create a team. All those things in there. So hopefully this has helped you guys get to know a little bit about what this looks like. We will do a more in-depth one on how to navigate through Microsoft Teams for your classes at a later time. I just want to show you how to get started. Now, when you first log in here, you probably won't have any courses just yet because the courses won't start until school starts. So there might not be anything there just yet. So don't be worried if you log in and there are no Canvas courses available to you. I don't think that they're going to actually be active until later next week or right when school starts. So just hang in there and they will be there. And you can refer back to this video when the time comes so you know exactly what you need to do. Also, remember, I am here to help you and to help get you started if you need it. Please don't worry. We're going to get through this together. It's going to be okay.